let's get right in. There are several issues to deal with. First of all, we have to deal, obviously, with the conversation we left on Tuesday as regards the succession plan in Mount Kenya. But most importantly, again, the reconstitution of parliamentary committees by President Uhuru Kenyatta and his ODM counterpart, Raila Odinga. And we'll get to that in a bit. But before we do that, very quickly, let me introduce the panel. In the absence of Jimmy Kagoni, we have Reverend Dr. David Kariuki, and we also have Kamau wa Kamau. Maybe a moment for each of you to say hi to the viewer, and then we begin. I'll start with you, Bishop.
Okay, hi and welcome into the Taifa Dialogue. We welcome you really. Just follow and give your comments. There's a number on your TV, on your phone. You just said to us your views on the conversation. Karibu sana.
Asante. Kamau, Kamau.
Good evening, viewers. We welcome you to Taifa Dialogue, where we have a conversation about our nation and what is happening in our political and leadership issues. Santeni sana.
Very much welcome. The last time we were talking about, and roughly we were able to touch on the succession plan in Mount Kenya region, but the only person that we were able to dust off really was Peter Kenneth, the former Gatanga Member of Parliament, and I think there was just a general consensus in the panel that Peter Kenneth most likely is a lazy politician who needs to stand up and be counted, but he stands to gain a lot. But very quickly, we also talked about Martha Karua, but there are other people who are emerging that look like they can be forces, and maybe Kamau would want to hear from you. The leadership of Anne Waiguru, because she's been touted as one person really who can lead the region, or one person who will be sitting at the apex of power if another government is formed in 2022. Anne Waiguru's leadership, if she were to assume the mantle of leading Mount Kenya region.
Thank you, JJ. On my side, I don't want to count so much on Anne Waiguru because we've just she's a first-time governor.
Yes.
Of Kirinyaga, though she has worked with the Ministry of Devolution, and she's on the test. What do we call test mark? Generally, we've had many other.
Yes,
she can join in, and in terms of ladder up, she probably would fit in another later date. But for now, for me, I don't see it. Though we've seen her push the issue of BBI and women issue. In consideration to women in leadership, maybe she can have in 1 to 10, 8 for women in leadership.
All right,
that's what I give.
Bishop, let me hear your views about Anne Waiguru's leadership. If you were to assume the mantle, of leading the Mount Kenya region.
Anyway, Waiguru has been from the fire to the frying pan, and from me, I do not think that Waiguru can lead the region, if I would say.
You don't think she has?
Don't think that she has the capacity to lead the region, especially Mount Kenya.
Okay.
And she has too many issues surrounding her.
Okay.
And it can be something a stubborn block.
The issues we're talking about are about integrity?
There are many things that surround her, and integrity is one of them, and Kirinyaga politics. Blessings come from home.
Yes.
There's a lot of issues that are coming from her home yard, but we do not want to believe that all that is said is true. But we still believe that there are still remaining some other very competent people, which you have not yet mentioned. The other time we talked about Peter Kenneth.
Yes.
Is a very good candidate. You see, even after we talked about the Macharia, the CS, we are seeing him coming up now. We are seeing him all over. He's like waking up. So I think we have Kenya has been so much quiet on the leadership, especially on those in government like CSS. We have mentioned Musheri before time, and I think it is very, very good to be checking on them, whoever they are. Even if it was a commission, we need to be mentioning them and argue on matters related to our country. Because sometimes we give to people who are very lazy, who doesn't add anything into what they have been committed to do. So now, from my side, I want to believe that Anne Waiguru still need to go slowly and finish with the Kirinyaga people, because she also have to finish good. Lazima amalize vizuri
na watu wa Kirinyaga. All right. The integrity issue surrounding Governor Anne Waiguru, whether real or perceived, how, because the governor has, severally mentioned, even through the Embrace movement, that she's seeking to sit in a very top position once the government is reconstituted after 2022. But the question of integrity never appears really to run away from her.
On a very personal account,
yes,
when she requested the president to give her lighter duties,
yes,
and she vied for Kirinyaga gubernatorial, and she's the current governor of Kirinyaga, just like what the bishop has said, we would actually want to see her finish good and finish strong.
Finish good in the sense of
sense of, let us have the people of Kirinyaga as the current governor. And whichever way it comes out, it's going to project her to like taking off plane from the ground. On the issue of integrity, a lot has been said, and others are speculations, maybe others are real, but we can't prove, because when she was taken to the Senate, she was given a clean bill of health by the Senate.
Not clean, really. She
from the Senate.
Yes,
I'm saying from the Senate.
They didn't find direct fault on her end, but money was stolen.
Just like all of us, where we sit.
Yes,
there are people who find fault on us, whether real or not real.
Okay.
What we would say generally is that let her perform her duty as a Kirinyaga governor.
Okay.
We have had other people, and on integrity, the file is not closed.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But at least we give her a mark of 50 to just finish as a governor, and not put her into a discussion of the succeeding
the president.
Not president. She can't succeed the president in matters leadership with women.
Yes,
she can navigate through in women leadership.
Okay.
Again, remember, we are still in the what we call in one third rule. We've not attained that.
Yes, the two-thirds gender.
And our leadership generally as Africans majorly dominated by men. So as much as we would want to dwell so much on her, let it flow on her to get to the next level of leadership.
Right. Bishop, I know last time you had a problem with Mother Karua because she resigned from government when perhaps President Mwai Kibaki needed her most. But even her resignation was out of disrespect by the very president that had appointed her, because there were judges that were supposed to be appointed, and then the president did involve Mother Karua. So she resigned on an issue of merit. When we talk about integrity and leadership, maybe you would say Mother Karua is the best example we have, and perhaps if we were to talk about succession politics in Mount Kenya region, she should feature prominently in that matrix.
What I think is that any time you are appointed to do some businesses under a president or under a leader, it is always good for someone to subject themselves to the leadership that has appointed them. And me appointing you doesn't mean that you rule me.
Yes.
I think the president have the power over every CS or over every minister, every other appointee. Like the other time we had issues with Maraga, who want 41 judges appointed, and he doesn't want the appointing authority to ask or to query why are we appointing this person, and this person we hear and we know and we understand. The NIS are informing me that they have issues with integrity.
Yes.
You don't want the president to have his word in it. This is what we are saying, that we do not want pride. I think Mother Karua worked behind some forces like a pride.
Okay.
And because if I appointed you, I think I can say something, even if without asking you.
The decision is yours.
The decision is mine, and I think that my government need to go this direction.
But Bishop, is Mother Karua proud or she has integrity?
She is proud and she's big-headed.
Really?
You know, we need to tell people what they are. Eh?
Yes.
Mother Karua is a non-nonsense in her own way.
Yeah.
You cannot assume to become to be speaking as a president when there is a president. In my own family, even if you are who, my word must be there. The final word. You could give your views, but at the end of the day, I could be saying something, and don't ignore.
Yes.
Age. Kibaki was older than
Mother Karua.
Mother Karua.
All right.
And as Kiku says, Muduri karite biona haraya, mukira keke, kemote iguru. So now, Kibaki being an elder.
Yes.
He could be saying something that Karua is not seeing.
Okay.
And why am I a president? I can overrule.
Yes.
I have the final signature. Why is it not? Why is Maraga not signing in or appointing the judges? Why is he not going and appoint them?
So purely on that basis, that is how you disqualify Mother Karua?
I would disqualify her.
Yeah.
And also I would say that she tried in Kenya.
Yes. As governor.
As governor.
Yes.
Her people refuse to elect her. So I don't want to say that she is not fit as per today.
Yes.
But I want to say that we would want to see somebody who finishes well.
Okay.
Like now President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Yes.
He had many issues with his deputy president.
Yes.
But he have shown to us that it is he that need to do the way he go. It is not the DP.
Yes.
The DP, he was there as a stumbling block. They worked together, but he went and took his way. So now it's like a vehicle having two drivers.
Yes.
Today I'm an advisor to the governor Kiabu.
Yes.
I can't speak when he is speaking.
Yes.
But when we were looking for votes, we said that we are equal. Like Nini. Yeah. Now the reality comes out later.
Okay.
You
are not equal.
It's like the task issue.
Yes.
The task I read some other time.
Yes.
Makes us equal.
Yes.
Have no equal. you know now we were three principles.
Yes.
But later we found that it was the governor. Today I am still a principal, but I found Joro is the
governor.
The governor.
Yes.
So now his word is final.
Okay.
And it should be like that even in your family.
Okay.
In a setup, in the school, when it is a secondary school, the principal is everything.
All right.
So if you are a deputy in the secondary school, you need to know what the boss is saying.
All right.
The boss is final.
You make a very valid point. Kamau, your very own governor, Mwangi Wairia, is one person angling to, play some role in the succession politics of Mount Kenya region. During his 2 terms as governor, do you think he has matured enough to play the league of big boys?
Thank you, JJ. And I hope you're not pinning me with my governor, as Dr. Nyoro has, Dr. Gakuyo has supported his governor. They work together. I hope you're not pinning me to my governor here, because I need to go home tomorrow. Anyway, when I look at it, we've never had a conversation with Governor Wairia. Okay. I've stepped into his office. I've seen what he's doing with the health sector, with the agriculture and other things. But I would, because you've asked about the maturity and leading the nation. Yes. It's too early to tell. And if I look into who he has picked to drive the agenda, it can't take off.
What do you mean it's too early? I mean, it's only 2 years to the elapse of his term as governor, and he cannot vie again as governor of Murang'a County.
He's starting to, but we can't say whether he can be a president.
Let me ask a very direct question to you, because Mwangi Wairia has already established a presidential center, as we were talking.
Yes.
Through his Civic Renewal Party.
Yes.
It might be ambition, but I want you to judge from outside and tell me, is Governor Mwangi Wairia enough to play in the League of Big Boys?
Young men and young ladies cannot make you the president of a country.
Okay.
There are some fundamental issues that you need to deal with. There are some ways you go and find yourself to be a pillar, to be called a president.
Yes.
So that is my take on being a presidency, whether it's Wairia, whether it's governor of Kirinyaga, whether it's governor of Meru. There are some fundamentals that you need as a leader to say I can lead a nation. It is not because I can put on a nice t-shirt and look good and I can talk that I become someone who can get votes for you, or I can convince Kenyans that we need a president who is called so and so. So it's not pegged to my governor, and I'm not holding any brief on him for him, but there are some basics you need. And I would also.
I don't think he has them.
He doesn't have those basics.
Okay.
Because when I look at, for example, deputy president, even for me, he doesn't have the basics of being the president.
Who doesn't have the basics? The deputy president?
The governor of Murang'a, deputy president William Ruto.
Yeah.
And also, I'll give you just a basic.
Maybe before you even give us a basics, because it's a very general statement to say he doesn't have the basics. Maybe you would be kind to tell us what are the basics of one becoming president.
I am not running for presidency.
Yeah.
But what
you can tell they don't have
what I've seen.
Yeah.
You build relationships with people.
Okay.
First, you don't build relationship with young people to be the president. You start with the elders, because elders have been in this country for long, and you wish to lead this country historically and today.
Okay.
So if you go with young people like myself to check out for your votes to be the president, what do I know? I've probably been in this country for maybe close to 40 or plus years. My father has been in this country for maybe 70 plus years.
I'm moving you a bit on that, because that's a bit controversial, one would argue. When you say the basics of one becoming president is building relationships.
Yes.
And you're saying don't build relationships with young people first, build with elders.
Let's know what Kenya stands for.
And
Kenya as a country.
And according to you, the young people don't have a history.
They don't have a clue of what a country is. Because when you look at the tradition of, let me take you back to the traditionals of British.
Yes.
Who are our colonies, and we borrow much our leadership from them.
Yeah.
How come is a queen who knights people? Why not a young man called Harry to knight so and so for the well done?
So you want us to discuss basics about monarchs?
I'm not discussing about monarchs.
Yes. Because
let's basically talk about who we are. Are you an elder from where you come from?
No.
Do you sit as the chairman of your clan?
No.
Maybe Bishop does, but we don't. The other time I pointed out that,
and that means I'm brainless.
You have to be taught how to sit at the clan. Because I cannot claim, regardless of who I am, that I can be the chairman of my clan. Are we together on that note? We are starting.
I don't think we are together.
Okay, we are starting from the village level.
Okay.
Am I an elder from my clan? I can only go that far. But when it comes to the basic management of a family and the clan and a village and a location and a constituency, a county and a country, you don't start from young people.
You're simply saying, if I understood you,
yes,
that young people in this country then should not have ambitions because
to lead
a
country.
They should not have ambition.
Called Kenya.
Yeah.
Let me take you back. I'll give you an example, simple example of William Ruto, the deputy president of this country.
Your pet subject.
Yes, my pet subject, you know that.
Yeah.
He takes social media as his tool to presidency. Yeah. Some of the people he's talking to, if you tell them to sing national anthem, none of them can do the composition of it.
And
that's a basic thing.
And your research is scientific?
Scientific. I'd want you, one day we work with you, with few who supports deputy president. You tell them, the three of them, pick three, tell them sing national anthem, and tell me what talks about the border of this country. If the three of them gets it right, he will be the president. If only one of them gets, we are headed for a...
Maybe, I don't know, we're likely to dwell on this subject a lot and I don't want us to stay there. But maybe perhaps you would be able to define for me, what is a young person? Maybe that's on the point of departure.
What was a young person?
Yes, a young person.
According to Kenyan constitution.
The people you're telling that they should not seek leadership, they should grow fast.
It is not the leadership they should not seek. I once in 2016, 2017, I was vying as an area MP for Kangema.
Yes.
But I was not vying to tell them what I know. It is what we have, we work together. Because me, I can run, all right? And I can do this and that, but I also need the elders to work with me. You understand? But if you go back to what you pointed out about Governor Iria, what makes you think that Governor Iria can be the president?
I asked you the question.
What are the basis? What are the basis?
You're supposed to answer my questions. You don't ask me questions. Anyway, very quickly, Bishop, I want to hear your views about Governor Mwangi wa Iria and his leadership, and whether he's, viable to lead the region.
I would view it differently for the reasons of I like seeing somebody coming out successfully in every kind of trial.
Yes.
And how I view Mwangi Iria is like Uhuru.
Yes.
How he defended his government, and I have checked on our Iria as because he is our neighbor here.
Yes.
Kiambu neighbor.
Yes.
And most of the time when he has gone through the fire.
Yes.
When he was being baptized by his MCS, Wairia have tried to come out victoriously.
Yes.
And one thing myself I like in every leadership, I like seeing someone winning the battle. And that is one of the qualities that a leader can have, winning the battle.
Yes.
You see now Giro, if I could jump to Kitui, Giro is managing his county.
Yes.
Yeah, there are threats, but he is managing them. And for me, managing your county, managing your threats, your politics, to me is very good.
Okay.
How Uhuru today is managing Jubilee, to me, it is very important. Because there is no any leadership that will not be attacked or be faced with the challenges.
Yes.
To me, how you conquer, how you overcome those challenges.
Yes.
The other day we had the cases with Uhuru in The Hague.
Yes.
And Ruto and the others.
Yes.
How they come out of that? How they come out of that? Because it will be fixed. Uhuru today could foresee that if I don't go for Raila, I can't finish. Well, that to me is wisdom. And I see that this man knows how to navigate.
You know, do you think Mwangi Iria has wisdom?
I think Mwangi can navigate. To me, even in the tempest, he can navigate and he can burn bridges for you not to reach where he is. And that wisdom, that understanding of protecting his empire, for me, is a plus. So now, coming to the presidency, who knew that Sonko can become the governor of Nairobi? From me, I thought he is the last person to become a governor. And even today, I still believe he was not the best person, but he went and he entered.
And he is the governor.
But he is not the governor now. By default, he is governor.
He is governor. The only thing is that
how can you tell me? How can you tell me Sonko is governor?
But he is.
How can you tell me Sonko is governor?
Before you ask me any question, there are two things I've picked from Bishop. Governor Mwangi Iria is my governor. I reserve my comment on his presidency and his performance for the last 7 years. That's it.
You're talking about his performance in Mwanga County?
Yes. Number two, he has mentioned Governor Sonko. There we differ. I would remind you simple, and I will touch on Mother Karua. Mother Karua, one time, President Moi went to, I think, Gishugu. And that lady, she was young and beautiful.
92.
And she walked
out on the president.
And when it came to Kibaki, she had outlived her character of walking away. She walked at the bad time, and that she has never recovered. When we come to Governor Sonko, Governor Iria, let me mention Sonko. Sonko yesterday or the other day he went to the Senate. the senator for Samongeri is
the chairperson of the committee.
He's a senator for
Kisii. Yes.
Kisii Senator,
Yes.
Professor Samongeri.
Yeah.
When he requested Governor Sonko to sit in for lunch,
Yes.
what did this guy say?
Yes, whether they had an open bar.
No, he asked them, do you have a bar?
Yes.
Now, with me, that put shiver in my veins.
Why did it?
Because if Sonko wishes to go beyond governorship of Nairobi,
Yes.
that thing of a man telling you we have something we can share, then you say, I can only go to a bar. To do what in a bar? And those are the leaders. And personally, as a person,
We may not discuss bars so
let me
much
say,
because we're in the presence of Bishop.
Yes,
But
yes,
what problem exactly do you have?
Where does he want
Is
to
that
go?
elementary of his leadership?
That is the elementary of his leadership. So if anyone had...
Let me ask you a question very quickly. We've had the President Uhuru Kenyatta admit during De Matthew's burial.
Yes.
And there's something they used to share behind a lorry.
Exactly.
You didn't have a problem with
Yes,
that? You
yes.
didn't see that was a problem on his leadership?
If you come to my house,
Yes.
and I tell you, I'm sorry, I didn't have time to offer you a cup of tea, but I've prepared what? Lunch for you.
Okay.
Then because of you all you think is about all yourself, not what I've done. You tell me, you ask me, do you have a bar in this house? And one day you will stand in front of other people telling them, I am your leader. What do you take of your
What the problem you have is his response, not his reference to a
he
bar.
could have even as a leader
Fair
you
enough.
think about.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. Francis Kimemia, as we wind up on the leadership of the Mount Kenya region, because the governor also, with his history and experience in government for so long, there are those who think maybe that's the direction to look when it comes to the leadership or succession plan of Mount Kenya region. Francis Kimemia.
Francis Kimemia, for quite some time has proved to be consistent
Yes.
in matters of integrity. He has been holding great offices and has been I can say he's the most experienced person, but have not shown himself fit for state leadership.
Okay.
So for me and Kimemia, I would say Kimemia, I've seen him in Meru sometimes.
Yes. During the BBI rally.
During the BBI rally.
Yes.
And was crowned in Kikuyu Eroda
Yes.
there. I don't know what he meant, but I have not at any given time seen him standing and asking a position of such kind. But it was good if we see some people who have shown interest.
Okay.
I have not seen Kimemia interested in such things. I think he is a one-time governor.
Yes, he's a one-time governor.
I think he would learn another term and become the chairman of governors.
Yes.
And probably is a very good advisor to the president.
Okay.
But I have not seen him a president myself. That's me.
Okay.
Because now you have to come out and show some like Kijuri today. If we mention Kijuri, he has some interest. Yeah, now we can discuss Kijuri.
Yes.
Kimemia, Kimemia is still a lieutenant for president, like myself.
All right, that's very interesting. I want us to read some feedback, on the subject you were doing before we can switch gears, because I see James Nganga saying Kimemia is sober. Puritan Njoki saying Kimemia is good. Kariuki Josephat, thank you very much for watching and saying the debate is good. Robert Kahindi, thank you very much. Laura Jambi, good show. There's somebody saying Mwepesi Mwangi should know simply because he was allowed to wash his hands and eat with a king. It doesn't mean he can make a king. And there's a Jane Kehori again who says Mwangi area is a non-starter. Patrick Kamau, there's somebody saying Kamau Ruto is our candidate. The thing is in the reference you made to the deputy president, and I'm being accused of making you sweat. You haven't. I'm gonna make you sweat. Somebody saying Mwangi area. Yes. And I think somebody was making reference to Mother Karua Purity Njoki saying, I can vote for her, but she lacks consistency. Well, let's change gears. Kamau.
Yes.
And talk about the reconstitution of parliamentary committees by the president. Today we have seen the election of the likes of Gladys Wanga as chairman, finance and national planning. We've also seen, I think, the woman rep for Busia was elected yesterday as the chair of the education committee. And we're seeing quite a shift because ODM now has been given several positions. But before we get to the ODM being given positions that initially should have been with the ruling party, let's talk about authority. Has the president finally stamped his authority in parliament?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
And before we get there, I would want to first thank the president for putting, like you're saying, his authority into what matters.
Okay.
For long, the house of Mombi has been squeezed out because the leadership that was in Jubilee was majorly controlled by the URP side by default, from Duale, Murkomen, and others.
Okay.
All those guys were from URP, and the president did it in good faith, and he extended his goodwill to them, but they didn't make it to the way that was supposed to be. Number two, I must congratulate my area MP, Muturi Kegano, because now he's the chair of legal.
And your competitor in 2017.
We were competitors, but now we are very good friends.
Okay.
And we're gonna work together, and we will invite any other person from Kangema to come and build our constituency. And number three is the way. Besides being given the chair of the legal committee, we have roads and water going on in our constituency. That is a plus. They started as there were 9 MPs. Obongo Gunjiri, Koinange, Maore,
this Masiga Kuya.
There is minor commander Masiga Kuya. There are about 9 of them, and all of them now they are in the kitchen, so to say, in parliament on what is going to happen. And I would sum it by saying, those who used to say that the president was not listening to them, all the committees from the majority leader, who is Honorable Kimunya, they've been given to the people who are majority. So if you have anything that you wanted the president to do for you, or he has not done, or he has not listened, now he has men and women who are listening from the local and from the constituencies. Then we can build a government. And
perhaps maybe we'll talk about loyalty versus merit, because it's a question of how do you remove the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah from being the Budget and Appropriations Committee chair, then you take him to member service where he just thinks about the tea served in parliament, and then you bring Kanini Kaya as a chair, budget committee. But Bishop, there are those who feel genuinely that this is just an extension of dictatorship to parliament, a house that should be independent, and now you have the president dictating who sits where, and Raila Odinga dictating who sits where, and the people who feel this is just an extension of dictatorship.
Yes, you can feel like that if you are affected.
Yes.
Because in the first place, you are affected because you are not singing to the tunes. All these people that are affected have started making a house in the house. In the house of Jubilee, you begin to make your own house. You have begun to make a kingdom in a kingdom. And as I said earlier, Satan and God used to live together. And they lived together in peace. When only Satan understood his role in heaven was to sing and to make a good choir. But when he overstepped and began to demand for the seat, that is when God said, Satan, you can't stay here with me. And he did not go alone. He went together with others. This is not dictatorship. I said earlier, you know, we need also to be coming back to look and see inside everything, what is inside. Like your house, also your family,
Yes.
my family, and any organization, it has to have a leader.
Okay.
And if that leader is not well obeyed in his rules, in which he used to go and form that
Yes.
that family, that family cannot stand.
Okay.
And a house that is divided, this is biblical,
Yes.
JJ. A divided house will fall.
Okay.
It cannot stand. And it is better you are called a dictator. Because in the first place, what we call today democracy, it can hurt our country.
Okay.
Democracy hurt a family.
Yes.
When the girls begin to wear nakedly, wakati watoto wanavaa venye wanataka, that family falls.
Okay.
Because there is no rules. And that is what exactly was happening in Jubilee.
Okay.
There was no that authority and that command. Now today, we have seen them removed. And Jubilee goes on.
Okay.
Jubilee will go on.
Okay.
And this is why now we see President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will live for something.
Yes.
Yeah. And we will praise him after.
Yes.
But before, when DP was sitting next to him, so much close, it was not good.
Yes.
It was very bad.
It was very bad.
Because the DP looked like he overshadowed his boss. So today,
Yes.
from my end, if I could say, there is nothing like a dictatorship. We are only trying to imagine that because we think that the leadership is like that love affair.
Yes.
Leadership is not a love affair. It is a serious matter. If today the country Kenya goes down, it won't go down because DP was a DP.
Okay.
It will go down because Uhuru was president.
All right.
So today, myself, I say, I support the
Changes.
The whip that went across every board, every committee.
All right.
Yes.
I want us to take a small breather, and because I see the feedback is quite huge, and we'll be reading some of it. Meanwhile, maybe we can just extend our legs towards the fire for 1 minute, and then come back and pick it up on the changes. Were they based on merit, or were the president was just trying to reward loyalty? And that will be the big question when we come back. Don't go too far.